For more on the historic visit to the Middle East, I'm pleased to bring in our next guest, former Undersecretary of Defense Robert Wilkie. He's also former Secretary of Veterans Affairs and chair of the Center for National Security over at the America First Policy Institute. Secretary Wilkie, it's a pleasure to have you. So we had camels and Cybertrucks, so all the pomp, the circumstance. But at the heart of this meeting in Doha and before leaving Saudi Arabia with the president of Syria. And again, we heard his comments, but really trying to urge them to recognize Israel, Abraham Accords. I mean, a stable Syria would do a lot of things in the Middle East. Talk to us about what President Trump's already accomplished just in a day and a half here.
Well, Bianca, you're so right. This would be a tidal wave throughout the Middle East. Remember, Syria has been under the thumb for most of the last 65 years of the Assad family. It was a proxy of the Iranians. It was the staging area for attacks on Israel and for America's interests. It was also a hub for Russian misadventures in the Middle East, and that is suddenly gone. I think the president demanding politely that the Syrians join the Abraham Accords is absolutely vital for the continued normalization of ties, not only with the Syrians, but really throughout the Middle East. So this is another feather in his cap, and it's a feather that, you know, began to be planted back in the first term with Arab nations recognizing the right of Israel to exist and sharing the economic bounty of economic ties with the Jewish state.
You know, President Trump's approach is unique in many ways. He's a businessman. We know that. Obviously, a lot of deals. And apparently, the Syrian President Ahmed Al-Sharaa came with his own pitch to President Trump when he met him, which seems, you know, understandable that he would want to do this. He's talking about maybe a tower in Damascus, Trump Tower. But really, the importance of this and knowing when they met, Turkey's president, Secretary Wilkie, joined the meeting virtually. So there you have it. And Turkey will be the centerpiece tomorrow, we know, when we are waiting to see if Vladimir Putin will arrive for the talks with Zelensky. How optimistic are you? And do you think there's some back-channel conversations happening right now about potentially having President Trump go there, despite his very busy schedule in the UAE tomorrow?
Yeah, first of all, you mentioned Turkey. Look, Erdogan has given Biden and Obama fits. And he gave them fits throughout their presidencies. The one president he listens to and he usually takes the orders of is Donald Trump, and I think you see that with the latest outreach in the Middle East. As for Russia and Ukraine, we will see. I think President Trump forced Putin to the table. First of all, he said, you started this. Second, he forgave the Ukrainian debt, $120 billion, and then he began the flow of weapons back into Ukraine. Putin has reached what we in the military call the culmination point. Bianca, when he starts talking about taking a village of 200 or holding a village of 150 for the mighty, so-called mighty Russian army, that means that he's reached the point of exhaustion. And I think he really needs to have this thing stop because he's lost 900,000 dead and wounded. Just put that in perspective. 300,000 of those are dead. In 10 years of Vietnam, we only lost 56,000 people. That's what Putin has done to his own people.